Hello, everybody. It is time for our ATC challenge for Pick a Stick Challenge. That's a Facebook group. If you haven't joined, be sure and check the information below and join us. It's a monthly challenge group. And in the middle of the month, we do artist trading cards. So you can see I have some artist trading cards. I think I'm going to make 5 of them. 4 of them will be going out to winners of our challenge group. Those people that participate get their name in a hat and possibly could win one of these and maybe even some more. Who knows? So the first step says make your own stamp. So I have some stamps here that I've made, and I will put up another video that shows the making of these stamps. This would just get way too lengthy if I had added it to this particular video. So I'm just going to stamp those 5 cards with a variety of the stamps that I have created. Now these I did mostly with just some fun foam. There's a few little missed spots where the stuff didn't get trimmed back right, but that's okay because I'm going to put so many layers on here, you're never going to notice it. And that's one of the beauties of mixed media. You can do that. So there we go. We got one more to stamp, and then we'll move on to the next step. So before I go to step 2, I decided I wanted to do some stenciling, and to do that I'm going to use some Art Basics heavy gesso just to put a small amount of texture in the background. I don't want anything really deep, but I thought I needed to add a little bit of dimension to this just to keep things flowing. And so I pick out a variety of the smaller size stencils. You don't want anything really big because these are only like 2 by 3, 2.5 by 3.5 inch cards. So you want to use a stencil that has a smaller image, and that's what these little stencils from Tim Holtz really come in handy for. So I'm just going to butter the backgrounds with that heavy gesso, and then I'll clean up my mess and dry it, and we'll move on to the second step in our challenge. Second step in the challenge is all about splatters and squirts and drips and whatever to make a drippy mess. And I love doing that. I love putting the layers on. So this, I have a hard time stopping with this one because it's a lot of fun. So I'll let you listen to the music for a bit and then I'll be back. Okay, so I went to my arsenal of supplies, and I have distress paint and color balloon sprays and distress, what is that stuff? Stain and Deco Art Media shimmer spray, and just about anything that you can think of that's in the color range that I'm looking for. I like that purple, green, orange kind of combination for the season. It seems to be a common thread for Halloween. So I'm just applying all kinds of things to the background here. And, picking stuff up off the table because I've got media down on the craft mat, and, spritzing it with water and letting it drip and run around, and just getting a lot of texture into my background by doing this. You don't want it all running together because you will end up with mud, so you do need to dry things in between layers, especially when you've got that green and orangey red kind of combination going on there. So I, pull them over, I dry them, I figure out what the next step is, and you can see I'm just got the very first layer of stuff on there. And yeah, flip them over, dry them on the backside too, because they are damp all the way through, because this is kind of like a watercolor paper, and it helps to dry it from both sides so they flatten out on the table. So yeah, now I'm just doing some splats with that distress stain and letting it just fly. It's supposed to be a purple. It looks more navy blue to me, but I found that there's something about the older that these distress stains get, the less true color they have. So I don't know if it's something with the product or what's going on. I mean, I do shake them up, but the color just doesn't remain true to what's on the outside of the bottle. So, and I have had that trouble with some of their paints before too. I don't know. It could be the water, could be anything. So not going to worry about it. It looks okay. We've got some splats on there, and then I'm going to take some purple in my archival and a sponge dauber, and I'm just going to go around the edges of these artist trading cards to draw the eye into the middle and give it some more depth. Okay, and then I'm going to use a little bit of hand sanitizer to clean that up with. So I find that's the best to clean those archival inks off your craft sheet with. Now, the next step says, for number 3, use a tab. Oh, I guess I'm still splattering. Yeah, gonna use a little bit more of that ripe persimmon and splatter that. Just getting more of that splishy splashy stuff going on in the background. So a tab could be a number of different things. I have chosen a punch that I have. This is a tab punch, and the best way to use it is to fold your paper in half and slide it in so that the very top of the tab does not cut. You can see I line it up so that it does not punch the very top of the tab, and that way it's a folded over piece that has color on both sides, and I can wrap it around the card and have it on both sides of my artist trading card. So I'm just doing a little preview there, figuring out which tabs I want on which card, and I'm going to reach for my Tim Holtz stapler that's got little teeny tiny staples and some glue. I'm using that Duo Mono Adhesive from Tombow, which I find to be a very good sticky glue. And putting a little bit of that underneath and then stapling them to the artist trading card. So I hope you all have some fun planned for this fall season, whether it's bonfires or hay rack rides or roasting hot dogs over the fire, or maybe a Halloween party with some witch's brew. Who knows? But make some fun craft things. Share it with friends. We used to do all kinds of fun things. We'd go out and collect for UNICEF, but we'd have a party after and have cocoa and marshmallows and, just have games and Dunkin' apples and all of that kind of thing. So enjoy your friends and family. It's going to be winter soon enough, and we need to enjoy these things. And remember, there are other cultures that do not celebrate Halloween, but there are other celebrations that go on at this time of year. So let's honor all of those traditions. And, happy Thanksgiving to the folks up north in Canada. They've already started their seasonal celebrations. So I'm just going to finish up putting some adornments onto these cards, and I'll give you some final photos. And if you haven't joined us already, be sure and find us on Facebook, or at least use the hashtags if you're putting something out here on social media so that we can find you. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, there's a little button down below that says subscribe. And I'd love it if you joined me and left some comments and shared your thoughts. So thanks everybody, and I'll be seeing you at the end of the month for our Pick a Stick Challenge journal page. Bye for now.